Are you a service-based business owner looking to increase profits to fund your lifestyle? Well, this podcast is for you. We bring you inspirational guests sharing actionable tips to solve many of the struggles you face each and every day. And now, over to your host, Paul Higgins.
Hi, Paul here. Before we get into the show, would you like to make a great first impression on LinkedIn? If so, I have something just for you. When people search for your name on Google, your LinkedIn profile will normally come up first. Before meeting someone for the first time, how often do they view your LinkedIn profile? For many coaches and consultants I begin to work with, their profiles don't do them any justice. I've created a simple solution where you can whip your profile into shape to have your best foot forward when attracting new clients on LinkedIn. Go to blgdownload.com, so that's blgdownload.com, to get your 5 killer tips today. Hello to the Build, Live, Give podcast. Episode number 288. This is the solo podcast, and if you're a first time, welcome. And if you love what you hear, please subscribe. I recommend listening to episode 0.5 first to guide you. And if you're a regular, thanks for your support. I'd love to actually hear from you. I must say that there are some listeners that reach out, but I know as a podcast listener myself, it's always brilliant when people reach out to you. And if you want to actually ask me some follow-up questions, you can do that through paulhigginsmentoring.com/questions. Lodge yours, and I promise to answer it. And if it's something that I believe is topical, I'll share it with everybody as a interview or as a podcast here on the show. Please check out past shows on your favorite platform. Just search Build, Live, Give. And a big shout out to Liz for her question today, and it's on sales funnels, which is our key topic. So what will you learn? You'll learn 3 things. 1, my definition, my version of a sales funnel, and how I can help you. And this is really quite specific to service-based businesses. You know, those that have listened for a while know that that's who I love to help. And that's what this sales funnel is designed for. So if I take you back briefly, mid-2020, I was going okay. I was getting lots of people in my membership program, which is the Sales Machine, but I was really struggling to close high-ticket offers. And that, you know, what I was doing was being a sales mentor, but I think what I was doing is sort of offering people hope, right? I wasn't giving people tangible benefits. And I engaged a beautiful lady called Mary Henderson from Mary Henderson Coaching, and she helped me to build my sales funnel. And that's what I've been using that has brought me in excess of $300,000 US in revenue just for the December. Well, sorry, for the second half of 2020, and it continues this year. So, you know, what's my definition? So my definition is a sales funnel is each step that someone takes towards becoming a client. I know that's not earth-shattering, but that's how I like to define it. And really, there's sort of key stages. So one is leads, then sales calls, follow-up, conversion, and finally the sale, right? And, you know, my version of it has got 7 components, and I've played with it a little bit. This is what is working the best at the moment, and I'll go through each of those 7 components so you can assess that versus what you're currently using and hopefully add components that aren't there. So let's kick off with step number 1. So it's methodology, right? And I think the most important thing is that, you know, you really want to leave people with something. There's so many people out there that promise the world and don't deliver it, right? What I learned is that I was promising a lot, but it wasn't easy to package up and put it in front of people. So your methodology is really that. It's saying, these are the things I'm going to leave you, right? And if you go to my profile, you can just shortcut as blgprofile.com. That'll take you straight to my LinkedIn profile, or just search Paul Higgins Mentoring. And what you'll do is you'll see mine. So it's got 3 components, and then it's got 5 steps under it, so 15 in total. And what it does is it helps me to sell to that. So I say specifically, this is what you're going to get. And it also helps with my content strategy, right? Because one of the components, so 2.2 under that, is sales funnels. So, you know, it helps me to create content like this because it's under the structure. Okay, so that's the methodology, and it's critical to get that up front. Once you get that right, then that is what is used in all the rest of the steps, right? So that's why it's number one. Number two is some value adds. So what do I mean by that? So when you're out reaching out to people, maybe on LinkedIn, email, it's great to give them something of value that helps them. So for example, often I'll leave, I've got a little video on how do you improve your LinkedIn profile. I've got one how you do engaging posts. I've got others, right? So when I see a profile, I'll see an opportunity, I always ask permission for that, but then I send them that. So that's an example. That's number two. Number three is it's like a value add, but I bucket it into something separate called assessments, right? And you've all heard quizzes, assessments. I think that's so much more rewarding these days than just a boring PDF. We use Lead quizzes as a great platform, but you can, there's lots of them out there. You can use Typeform, you can use others. But what my assessment looks like is 14 questions that you can answer in 3 minutes. And it's based off that methodology, right? It's creating a gap analysis for people to say, this is what I think you should have you got this or not, right? And at the end, it's giving them real value, because what I do is give you a score out of 100. So you go into 4 brackets, and then based on the bracket, I've got a specific video, a specific call to action, and ultimately it's a call with me, right? So a call's valued at $500 USD, but it's a free call, and it's not a sales call. It's a specific call to go through. These are the things I think you should do, and I want to put it in context with them. That's why I have a sales call. So you can go and see mine at paulhigginsmentoring.com/assessment. So before we go into step 4, I'd like to talk to you about Dubb. It's DUBB. It's an all-in-one sales and marketing video platform that helps to attract, convert, and retain more happy clients. I used it this week to set up a sales page for clients. So when I did some outreach, they go to one place, and it's got all those value adds, a case study, all on one. So they can see the information on one page. It looks great. So why not check it out for yourself? Go to buildlivegive.com/Dubb. Okay, so far we've gone through the first 3. So we've gone through number 1, methodology, we've gone through value adds, and number 3 is assessments. That's what we've gone through. So number 4 is masterclass, right? And some people call it a webinar. You can call it whatever you like, but my definition is a masterclass is where you're showing people what it'd be like to work with you. Okay, so I've got one for the sales machine. I've also got one for the Accelerate, which is my group and one-on-one mentoring program. And what it does is just takes them through some of the pain points they might be experiencing, what I'm constantly helping people with, then some solutions for that. It could be one of them's 10 minutes, the other one's 20 minutes, but it's something short that they can watch before they get on a call with you, right? So the most important thing there is that they pre-qualify themselves, whether it's going to be right for them, so they don't waste your time or theirs. And the second thing is it actually reduces the amount of time you spend in the discovery call talking about the program itself, right? You really want to understand them. So that's step 4. Now, step 5 is the discovery call itself. And, if they haven't gone through the diagnostic, if they haven't gone through the assessment, what I do is just a gap analysis, right? So it's similar to the assessment. There's 14 questions, and I just ask them to answer yes or no to these questions. So I did one today, and someone had 50%, right? So they knew they had gaps in their process, and they've got an opportunity to work out whether they want to fill them themselves or whether they want to get help. Okay, so it's really helping them to self-diagnose. Also on the discovery call, what I do is really get into why. So I did a podcast recently. I can't remember the name. I should be able to get it, but I can't. Sorry about that. But if you go back and go through the 5 whys, it's really going deep 5 times as to what it really means to them. And ultimately, that's what you want to get to, right? What's it personally mean to them? Does it mean that they get cash flow to get a mortgage if they're renting, as an example? But what's it really mean to them? Because I think, yes, the result is important, but the result is just the top of the funnel, not the bottom of the 5 whys. Number 6 is the investment call. So I like to break them out, right? The discovery call, yes, they're committed. They want to find out more, but I don't talk dollars and cents and investment until we go to an investment call. And the investment call, I go back and really understand what they took out of the discovery call, any key questions they've got outstanding. So I'm basically covering off all objections. Then I go through what it's like to work with me. So I actually take them through exactly what it's going to be like. And then finally I say, well, this is the investment. And in the discovery call process, I've got what the reward is to them, both personally and also in a business context. So I'll make sure that's related. So it's got a return on investment decision in the investment call, not a cost-based. And then the last one, step 7, is the proposal. Okay, and we use a bit of software called Better Proposals. It doesn't really matter what you have, but it's the most important thing I think is what they're going to get out of this, how you work, some case studies of people like them that have had success before, and what the investment is, right? So I think that's really important. And then the last one is terms and conditions. So let me recap just one more time. So we've got number 1 is methodology, 2 is value adds, 3 is assessments, 4 is masterclass, 5 is discovery call, 6 investment call, and 7 is proposal. So if you'd like for me to help you build yours, and if you'd like to find out more information, because I know you're probably listening to this at the moment, and it's easy to grasp conceptually, but if you want to see the specifics, you can email me at paul@buildlivegive.com. So 3 key actions for today. 1 is assess your current sales funnel. How many steps have you got in it? What does it mean? How can you use digital as much as you can to make it easier for the client, first the prospect, and you, prospective client, I suppose. The next is to fill in the gaps. So what are you going to add? You're going to add a masterclass. You're going to really go deeper in the discovery call around, those yes/no questions, etc. And the third one is contact me for help, right? That's why I'm here. That's why you're listening to this. So you can get all the links in the show notes at paulhigginsmentoring.com/podcast, episode 288, or on the app you are listening to right now. I recommend the Pocket Cast app, but all apps are great. Listen to episode 0.5 if you're new. It will really give you a great overview. And if you want to know, more about my assessment, which really helps you to work out if you've got the sales machine to meet your aspirations or ambitions, go to paulhigginsmentoring.com/assessment. Please connect with me on LinkedIn. That's where I post a lot. That's where I love to do a lot of my content. If you know someone interested in sales funnel and they would get value for this, please share it with them. They would love you for it. And remember to ask those follow-up questions just like Liz did, who brought up the sales funnel. Thank you, Liz. So once again, go to paulhigginsmentoring.com/questions. So please take action to build, live, and give.
Thanks for listening to the Build, Live, Give podcast. If you like what you heard, please share it and leave us a review. It would mean the world to us.